I wanted to ask you, you were really well known as a Bowser Jr. player. You picked up Cloud when Cloud came out. Obviously, Cloud's a great character. You're doing well with Cloud. What do you think of Cloud right now? Is Cloud the best? What's up with Cloud right now?
I'm not sure about best, but he's at least top 3 in the game. So that's definitely enough to just, win with Cloud. You can use just Cloud and win tournaments. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to tier lists, I don't really think about the order that much. I just think about who can win. I feel like that's the most important part.
So what do you find then is, I guess, because people do think Cloud can win, Cloud's strong. What do you find, I guess, what does Cloud struggle with? Who are Cloud's probable matchups?
So I think when it comes to Cloud, he has one of the best matchup spreads in the game. He destroys a lot of characters. Some of those decent characters like Villager or Ness that are they're up there, but they're not the best. He makes them irrelevant. He's that type of character. And I think Sheik is pretty hard for Cloud. It's a slight disadvantage. And I think Diddy Kong is pretty hard right now. It's an even-ish type matchup, but it's just really stressful. So other than that, I think he beats everyone else in the game. He's so good.
Something I wanted to ask you, you just said, we've got tiers are kind of tough right now. Stuff's in disarray. How do you feel about the game, from a balance perspective right now? Where do you think the game's at right now? How does it feel?
I think it's really interesting. You see all these upsets with random characters. I think it's really balanced. The way the game works with rage effect, there's a lot of comeback mechanics. And honestly, right now, there's at least 15 characters that I think are great and can win tournaments. And you haven't seen that in Smash yet.
We're talking about matchup spreads and stuff like that. People are making a really big deal about counterpicking right now, being a viable strategy. What do you think of counterpicks? Do you think it's viable? Do you think it works? Is it something you think you might want to start working with?
I think it's really important right now. And the thing about it, it's not just people think it's just picking random characters, not random characters, but picking a character that wins against another character. But there's actually more to the counterpicking. It's a player versus player thing. Pick a specific character that a player doesn't know how to fight. That also goes into it. And obviously, doing it on a matchup ratio perspective is also important. But there's a lot of depth to it. I think it's very interesting. And I originally used Bowser Jr. and Wario before Cloud came out. And recently, I've been thinking about using Bowser Jr. and Wario. Not as much as Cloud. Cloud's most of my gameplay still. But in some specific matchups, I actually might use Bowser Jr., maybe even this tournament, so.
This is, biggest Smasher of all time, biggest Smash 4 tournament, biggest EVO of all time. It's probably a lot of people's first, huge tournament like this, probably even more next year. What is something you would say to a player it's their first time going to a huge tournament like this? What advice would you give them?
Okay, honestly, I think players, they have goals before they go to tournaments, and I think they think too much of the end outcome and they don't think of what's in front of them. They're not worried about their next match. They're worried about, if I win my pool, I'll play X player, when they should be really focused on what's going on right in front of them. I feel like that's an issue for a lot of players with big goals. And just take this as a learning experience. You get to play a lot of top players if you're new, so in pools and stuff. So ask for advice, watch videos. This game's really accessible in my opinion. I feel like it's a lot easier to get better than most games.